name's Cecilia, and welcome to my channel where I talk about my sewing endeavors. I thought it might be interesting to do a video on things I've sewn for my daughter. Background information, she is 18 months now around, and I've been sewing for her, or I started sewing when she was around 8 months. So there's not too many items, and there's a kind of a theme going on. So hopefully this will be a fast video and I could kind of show you what I've done for her. I usually don't sew for other people. I tend to be quite a selfish sewer. I've done a little bit of tailoring, hemming, and stuff like that for my partner, but I really just like sewing for myself. But I figured new year, new me, might as well try something new, and what would be more fun than sewing some cute little clothes for a cute little girl. So I decided to try that this year. And I have some things that I want to show you. There's not that many things, and there's a very clear theme once I start going through it. So hopefully I'll get through these as quickly as possible. I've been having a habit of filming videos that are 20 minutes, 40 minutes. So we're gonna try to get this out in a quick 10, and hopefully we'll see how successful I am. So the first things first, I had bought a duvet set, which I bought to make some toiles for things for me. But I also bought it with the idea that the toiles that I made for me, I could also reuse that to make some things for my daughter, which I did. First on that list, these were the very first things I sewed for her. This was a free pattern from Tiana's Closet that I kind of modified a little bit for her. But it is just a very basic pair of elastic pants. So the first one I sewed with a very thin elastic at the top, and what I did for basically all of them was make a very deep hem so that if she got taller or quickly, I could let out the pants and make them a little longer because they're not tight pants, so it would be quite a while before they became like constrictive on her width-wise. So then I could also let it out lengthwise, and these are kind of nearing that stage where I might consider letting them out lengthwise. But these were the first pair, and then I very quickly made the second pair in the opposite side, which is the white. These are slightly bigger. I think I don't know I think the first pair I don't know why these are slightly bigger, to be honest with you, but I think because I kind of freehand made the changes to the pattern when I made these, and then this pair I kind of redrew the pattern so that I could have a quick pattern to use for the rest of the pants I made for her. But these are white. That's the only difference, basically, and they just happen to be slightly bigger. She has worn these. I might be able to find some photos for you. I'll try to find photos of her wearing all of these, but it can be a bit hard because she is a toddler and it's hard to get her to stand still or do anything you would like. But these were the second pair. And then right after that, I made this top, which was a raglan pattern that I found for free for a different style top. And then once I had basically finished it, I realized it didn't even remotely fit her, so I made some freestyle changes. So I added a pleat and a elasticated gathered section to make the head hole a little smaller so it would fit her. And this actually does fit her now, and she has worn it a few times. And then after that, I made this hat, which the idea was for it to be reversible, but I had some issues while I was making it, and I gave up on that idea fairly quickly. But it has the red and the white, and she's worn this quite a few times too. I did more recently add the toggle because it got harder and harder to get her to keep the hat on her head, but she has worn this as well quite often this summer. And then last, this is actually pretty recent, but I'm just adding it with this section because it's the same fabric. But these were a pair of shorts that I made for her. Well, I cut them out so that she could have them for a trip to Croatia that we were going on, but I didn't end up getting them sewn for that trip. But I did finish it when we got back, and hopefully she'll be wearing this when we go to Australia in December. So I don't think she's worn this once like outside, but hopefully she will get somewhere out of that. And then the next project I did, which was also a free pattern, if you see a theme going on here, but this was a very cute free pattern. It's just for a pair of overalls. This fabric was a cotton that I bought from Self-Made here in Stockholm. Wasn't too badly priced because it was on sale, and I thought it was really cute with the little pink stripes. This was the first thing that I've made for her that she outgrew. I think I made this for her when she was around 8 months, and it was, you know, loose for her. But eventually the middle section was too tight that it was kind of riding up over her diaper and getting a little constrictive in terms of her bending over. So all I did was open up the back and add new longer straps so that this would hang lower on her, so there was more room, and now they fit again, which I appreciate because I think these are absolutely adorable on her. I'll try to get the name and the link for the pattern for these because the printing out of the pattern was really weird. It was the first time I've ever had issues with taping up a pattern together because I felt like they didn't really fit together properly, and it felt like a jigsaw puzzle that I had to work out. But it's a really cute pattern, and the pattern does suggest adding elastic to the back to kind of cinch it in, but I didn't do it with these. But still, really cute pattern. They're kind of, the legs are they're not super wide, but they do have a slight barrel shape, which makes them very cute. Yeah, don't have much else to say about it. It was fairly quick and easy to put together. Oh yeah, and the pattern doesn't have the straps in the pattern that you print out. It just basically says a size of fabric to cut out to make the overalls, which, you know, it's a free pattern, so I'm not going to complain, but yeah, just thought I'd mention that. And then after I made these pants, I really like striped pants. I've kind of seen them quite a bit, and I think they look especially cute in little kids' clothes, but I have been having trouble finding striped fabric. So these colors aren't my favorite assortment of colors, but I did find this, so, and it felt girly with the purple without feeling too, you know, bright pink. Nothing against that, but I did like that bit about the color theme. And then I have the pockets, which are slightly different, which I thought was a cute little add to this. And these are, I think, the first pants pattern where I started doing the slightly wider elastic, which I think is a lot better for the pants in general. But I did eventually, the pattern doesn't come with back pockets. These I kind of freestyled, and the proportion and placement was a little off on this one. So the subsequent pairs, I did make a smaller pocket with better placement. But these she wears all the time. I did make a matching top from another free pattern with the stripes going opposite direction from the pants. This was another free pattern, but I didn't really like it on her, so I didn't end up finishing it with the snap. It was too big when I made it, but now I think it might fit better, so I may get around to putting a snap on it so she could possibly take this cotton t-shirt with us when we go to Australia. And then also for the summer that just finished, and for our summer trip, I decided to make her a pair of linen pants. This is a linen viscose mix fabric that I use to make myself a whole bunch of clothes, which when I made the things for myself, I dyed. But for her, I thought a lighter color would be good, especially for summer clothes. She has gotten quite a bit of wear out of this. For some reason, I can't remember why, when I made them, I didn't do the deep hem on these when I made them for her, which the pattern I've designed to have a deep hem. So these are extremely long, but I did do French seams on this one, so that when you fold it up, you don't see the serging on the sides. So I don't know why I designed them like that this time, but that's the difference with these. And then my partner had a pair of jeans that he was going to throw away, so I decided to, it had holes in the crotch, and like I eventually mended, and at some point it just became too much, so they were destined for the bin and not for charity shops, because you couldn't pass them on. So I decided to at least try to use some of the fabric to make her some pants, because they were a softer denim. I don't know my ounces in denim, so I couldn't tell you what it's similar to, but it's not the softest, but it's like also not super thick for a little child that it hinders their movement. So these ones are the same pattern as all the other ones, except I decided to do like a cargo style pocket in the other side of the denim, so it would be like kind of contrast pockets. So this I made these, and then this embroidery was a fairly recent change to the pants. I was just bored one day, and I've never embroidered anything, so I did add embroidery to another pair of pants of hers and these pair of pants, just because I was bored. And these in particular were very plain, so I thought it would be nice to have something that was slightly different. My daughter, her name is Maya, and her grandmother, when she was very young, started calling her Maisie Moo, which we really hated when she started doing it. And then her grandmother lives in Australia, and she came to visit us when after Maya was born, when she was like a month old. But then as soon as she left, we started calling her Maisie Moo, and that has slowly changed to us, or particular me, just calling her Moo. So I thought it would be cute to have a little cow on her pair of pants. Yeah, so that's why there's a cow. And she likes to look at these pants and go moo. So I think that's especially adorable. Then these are a pair of cotton linen mix pants that I also bought from Selfmade here in Stockholm. It was a remnant piece that I specifically bought to make Maya pants, because I love striped pants. It's a very nice. It's I think it's a little more cotton than linen, but the feel of the fabric is just really gorgeous. And generally what I do with all the striped pants is I put the pockets with the stripes going the other direction. And so these she wore most of the summer and fall, and then very recently, these were actually the first thing that I attempted to embroider, and I just kind of freehand drew a strawberry and then embroidered it. I'm not very good at embroidering, as you can see. It's not a beautiful strawberry, but I think it's cute, and from far it looks like a fairly good strawberry, so I just think it's like a cute little cheeky addition to these pants, and I really like that. Then my daughter, I'm a lover of all things color, and I wear just colors all the time. But my partner is very much a black and navy monochrome dresser. And somehow, with the mix of the two of us buying clothes for her, she has ended up having a fairly beige wardrobe. Which, I mean, I think her clothes that, uh, like, if you've noticed, there's only pants that I've basically sewn her. So most of the things she wears are ready to wear. Just because it's easier and they outgrow things so fast. Just the way it has ended up. But she has a lot of beige. And, you know, because she's still very young, she has really short hair. And there's a very huge part of me that wants her to be girlier. But also, she's at an age where she's just running around all the time. So it doesn't make sense for her to wear, like, dresses and stuff like that. So I did decide that I'm going to make a conscious change to try to put her in other colors than beige. So if you've noticed, well, I do have some beige things that I've sewn her, but trying to inject some color into her wardrobe, but especially pink. So I have a couple things in this pink fabric, but I also bought other pink fabrics to make for her. But these were the first kind of winter-esque pair of pants, because a lot of the other ones are like a thinner, it's not like a super thin, but like a thinner cotton summer pant. Especially because we don't live somewhere where it's super warm in the summer, so she needs light clothes, but she might get cold if she's wearing shorts in the summer here. So she has a lot of summer pants, so I wanted a few things that were a little more winter appropriate. So these are a thicker, kind of almost like a light blanket type of fabric, pink with a like textured stripe in the same color on it. Yeah, these I did make an attempt. I don't know if you could see that if I hold it really close. Did make an attempt. Let's try and hold it still so you can see it. To embroider her name on the back pocket, which I thought was a cute little addition for a really kind of almost plain pink pair of pants. And then after that, I did the same pattern that I used to make, where is it? This top, which is like a raglan pattern. I decided to cut it out in, I think that one I cut out in 18 months size, and this one I cut out in like, I think the like 7-year-old size, with the idea of gathering the neckline to make it kind of a peasant-y raglan top. So I made it out of this fabric. Yeah, with the gathered arms and buttons all down the back so she could get into it. Whether or not that worked in terms of a pattern is arguable. Like, it is just a tad bit too wide on the bottom bit for her. So it wasn't exactly a win, but I think it's definitely something, like, it's too big for her now, but I do think it is something that she could possibly wear maybe next winter. So that is that. Not a win, but still something I put a lot of effort into making for her. And the last thing I've made for her was another pair of the same free overall pattern in this pink, because I have a lot more of this pink fabric and I'm not going to make anything for myself, so it just made sense to make her something else. It's the exact same pattern, exact same size as the other one, so I'm not entirely sure why this one came out so much larger than the original one. Maybe the other one just shrunk a lot after I made it, even though I did pre-wash the fabric. I don't know. There's like quite noticeable difference in the size in these two. But so this one I am going to put the elastic here just to make it a little smaller. But this still fits her. It's not like she's swimming in them. But this is the pink version of the same overall she has in the blue. So that is the last thing I made for her. I don't know, like, I do find making things for her is a good way to use up the scrap fabric that I have, or smaller pieces of fabric. It does use a little more fabric than you think it is going to need, but pants especially are incredibly easy to sew up for a toddler, small child, and I can't see myself stopping anytime soon. I have actually bought I think it's a McCall's pattern that has a shirt, a jacket, a dress, and overalls in 2 different sizes, all in one pattern, that I plan on using. I've already cut out, it's just like a button up top with like a slight Peter Pan collar that I've already cut out in another fabric to make for her. So she will definitely continue to have clothes that I've made, because I actually really enjoy it, and I think it's really cute seeing her running around and things I've made, and it feels very precious and makes the clothes more of a keepsake. I try to stay away from fast fashion and ready-wear clothes. Like, I haven't bought myself any fast fashion clothes in years. So I don't like the fact that a lot of her clothes do tend to be from fast fashion brands, just because, you know, kids need a lot of clothes and they outgrow them quickly. I've tried to buy secondhand or thrifted, or I've gone to the store to buy her secondhand or thrifted clothes, but I don't know, I've just had a lot of trouble finding things for her. I don't know if that's just a location or luck thing, but it's annoying for me personally. So I will probably sew more for her in the coming years, but yeah, hopefully there'll be more videos of this type so that I can show you things I've sewn for her, as well as actually sewing things for her. Hopefully some tops, because it's very low on tops. But first I have to find a pattern that I actually like for her, which I can probably do the same thing I do with the pants, just keep chugging them out so she has some things to wear. But yeah, those are all the things I made for my daughter. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. And thank you for watching this video. If you like it, press the like button, or if you want to subscribe, that would be great. And hopefully you'll come back and watch another video of mine. Thank you. Bye.